Hey there, wrestling fans. Thanks for joining us. This is VPW Pro Wrestling's Championship Glory. My name is John. This is Kevin, and we're here for another few hours of fun, excitement.
No surnames, huh? We're just John and Kevin. Go ahead, keep going, moron.
We are here with you tonight with some of the greatest matches that you picked for championship matches. That's the VPW Pro Wrestling Women's Championship, the Tag Team Championship, the New York State title, and of course, the VPW Pro Wrestling Championship. You voted these matches online, and we're going to go ahead and air your picks in a little bit.
Are you finished? Excellent. Also on tonight's program, we have Jack Tomlinson takes your questions, Behind the Scenes with Stockade, which is going to be weird, and then we've got my interview, Fresh Shoots, with Eric James.
Don't forget, like we did last time, Johnny Collins will also be
Collins
here.
Was so pissed.
He
hates you.
He wasn't really happy at anybody else.
It's cool with me. I fade all the heat on you.
Well, we'll see. Yeah. All right, but he'll be here as well. Let's start off with our first match. This is the VPW Pro Wrestling Women's Championship match that you picked. And with 62% of the votes, you picked this one. And I think it was a good match, especially considering this was the foundation that laid out everything that VPW women fought for, and that is the very first women's championship match.
Word soup, but nice save. Absolutely. We had Nikki Adams in this match, and Karen Q, Ashley America, and Deanna Perrazzo.
Perrazzo, yes.
Perrazzo. I'm bad at last names with Z's in them, like Baruto. Anyway, I think she's gone on to do quite well for herself. What did you say?
She is a two-time Impact Knockout Women's Champion.
There you go. Those are words.
I know. has been eliminated. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the match and the first ever Victory Pro Wrestling Women's Champion, Nikki
So you can be sitting down right over here, and then your camera's right over there. You can be sitting right over here. Yeah, I know where to sit. I know how to sit too. Yeah. So, okay, and like, is this gonna happen this time or what? Because I'm just curious.
Yes, Johnny, it is going to happen.
He's super pissed.
He's really pissed off. He hates you. Anyway,
what a match there. Nikki Adams picking up the first women's VPW Championship
yes.
by nefarious means,
Yes.
which I liked. Little weird thing with some rogue fan trying to jump in there at the end, but
I think that was her manager.
whatever. But yeah, well, congratulations was due then. But that was a good match.
It was a great match, and of course, that was the foundation of the Victory Pro Wrestling Women's Division.
Mm-hmm.
Coming up later on the program, as we just mentioned, Johnny.
Hold on. Before we go any further, did you get any feedback from the King of New York show?
Oh, we had a lot of feedback live during the show. There are a lot of comments, just like there are right now so far. And as we're looking at it after the fact, we had comments and text messages. We got a couple of emails from some fans really thanking us for what we've done.
Most of the feedback I was getting was they said you talk too much. I should probably be like the main host, and you should like get coffee and run the camera.
What?
You talk too much.
Anyway, Johnny Collins is coming up later on tonight. And then we have the Ask Jack, the Jack Tomlinson will be taking your questions. And behind the scenes with Stockade. What is that music?
Hello, and welcome to Victory Pro Wrestling's Championship Glory Show. I am your host, Philip Seymour Cardigan. I know the last time I was with you guys, my house just suddenly combusted up into flames. and you could see I'm in the doctor's office right now. It's not from the fire. I actually stubbed my toe the next day, but it's fine. So, considering what happened last time, I would like to redo my interview with Kevin Fulton. How are you, Kevin? Great. Let's get right to it. Okay. First question: why do you think J Delta is your closest friend?
Am I supposed to respond to that?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, you're supposed to respond to
it's
that.
not obvious that, J Delta, me and J Delta, we go back so many years, and he's just such a terrible human being that we would just gel the way that we do. I mean, come on, look at the guy. He's handsome to look at, first of all, right? And he wears orange, loves orange.
Those are his two best qualities, that he's handsome and he wears orange a lot.
I bought him that super sweet puppet and puppet guy, right?
You did bring him in, yeah.
Remember when I got him that super awesome new New York State title?
That was the company, but okay.
Yeah, but I made them do that for J Delta because he's a terrible person and I love him with all of my heart.
Beautiful. That's beautiful.
Next question, nerd.
Second question: what type of thrill do you get out of being the commissioner of VPW?
What type of thrill? Well, first there's I can make people do what I want. There's that. I'm in charge. I call the shots. At the end of the night, I get an envelope with money in it.
That's like money.
That's pretty good. I don't get punched in the face anymore.
That's a perk. That is a perk.
Right? At least I shouldn't. People have. It's way less than they used to.
That's that one time Stockade got you.
Yeah. He sat home for a couple months for that.
I'm sure he enjoyed it.
Right? Oh, and then that's a good example. I can take people I don't care for, and I can put them in the ring together, and then they punch each other in the face. And then I can sit in the back of the monitor with my friends and watch people we don't like punch each other in the mouth. Which is, if that's not a thrill, I don't know what is.
Couldn't have said it better myself. And the third question is, if something in the office says flammable, does that mean I should set fire to it or avoid setting fire to it?
Well, first of all, that would depend if it's my office or your office. If it's your office, you can do whatever the hell you want. Set fire to anything, right? I would suggest lighter fluid or some type of accelerant.
No. Don't light. Why are you telling people to light stuff on fire?
It's his office. He's clearly got fire insurance. If we've learned one thing, right? He's got great insurance.
Hey, he's got health insurance.
Dental, come on.
Dental.
Right.
In this day and age.
And you know what? He'll be able to identify the body by his dental records.
Yeah, I think I went with the wrong answer. Jesus.
See? And that was his office. That doesn't affect us at all.
No. Whatever.
Yeah. His office, on fire. My office, not.
True.
Enjoy, Phil. Maybe I'll see you again.
I hope so.
Well, it didn't look very promising.
Burn his house down.
All right, what do we got next?
He's not really good with the whole fire thing.
No, he's terrible.
And when we come back, we're going to take a look at our tag team match as voted by you. It's a good one.
Nice commercial. Whose voice was that?
Not mine.
Very good. That's what I like to hear.
Yeah.
Not you. Anyway, what are we going to next, pal?
All right, so right now we have our next match. This is for the Victory Pro Wrestling Tag Team Championship. An overwhelming 75% of the votes came for this one.
Oh, okay, shut. This match. I watched this match through the curtain. Okay? Like this. And
Just before we had a monitor. In
right. And it was frightening to watch, to be honest with you. You know, a few of my good friends were out there, and the 4 men out there had never been put in a situation like this with a ladder match.
This is an incredible match, and probably one of the.
I guess I was done speaking.
I think it was the first ladder match.
Absolutely, it was the first ladder match that we had in Victory Pro Wrestling, and the chances these guys took in this match, and the pace that they kept up in this match was unbelievable, and I'm really excited to watch it.
Here we go. It is for the Victory Pro Wrestling Tag Team Championship, Conflux versus VSK and Kevin Tibbs.
So here we go. A quick start to this matchup. All right, now Xander Page and EJ Riz have a small. Oh, wait a minute. Here comes Kevin Tibbs. Oh, that big match isn't going anywhere. Like I said, the agility of the other 3 men will definitely come into play in this match. But whoa! Watch out for the ferocity, the sheer power of Xander Page, because he is just a walking roadblock. And I believe they're going for the ladders. Oh! And now EJ Riz is back in the ring. Wait a minute. No one there. Oh, EJ Riz at some disadvantage here. Oh, wait a minute. Xander Page, the big man, has the other ladder. Oh! Remember, the only way to win this match is by getting those titles. Oh, pinning your opponent is not going to do it. Right now, they're just torturing EJ Riz. Oh! Wait a minute! Oh! Oh, goodness, all of that weight on the chest of Kevin Tibbs. Wait a minute! Oh! Oh, right into that ladder! Wait a minute! Oh, no! no. Not it. Oh! Face went right into the steel of that ladder. Here we go. They're setting up the ladder. And here it is. Oh, wait a minute. No! Oh no, telling Tibbs to set up the ladder. And here we go. Oh! The big man pushed into that ladder. VSK. Oh no. Oh my goodness. Oh my. What a devastating clothesline. And this is what I mean. He is a dangerous man in this matchup. Well, throwing chairs in the ring. Just anything goes. And this man is going to inflict some serious punishment. No. And EJ Risk on the receiving end of a terrible beating by Tibbs and VSK. And now getting the ladder. Oh no! Oh! What in the world? No! Oh! My goodness! I cannot believe what I'm seeing. What a vicious match. And VSK going to the top. Oh! Oh, caught in midair. Oh! But Kevin Tibbs and VSK are working cohesively as a unit. And Tibbs going to the top. No, watch out for the big man. No! No! Look at the welts on the back of Kevin Tibbs. What are they conjuring up now? Wait a minute. What are they building here? Wait a minute. He's not going to. He cannot possibly suplex him onto that ladder. Oh dear God. Dear God, he is not going to do this. He is not going to do this. Oh, stop! I don't know what happened to the big man. And here we go, VSK. Wait a minute, what is he doing? Oh, here we go. VSK climbing that ladder. Oh, so close. And EJ Risk fighting for those titles. Here we go. Team that Risk is going to the top. Oh. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. No. No! No! Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! is one of the most brutal matches I have seen here in Victory Pro Wrestling. Kevin Gibbs has to get in that ring. What action we're seeing here! No, no, no! 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 I cannot believe the punishment that these men are going through. And here we go. And here we go. It appears. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Jay Delta. Oh. Enough placing. Risk on that ladder. Wait a minute. Here's Kate Press. No, no. Okay. Kate Press. No, 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 no. Oh, here we go!
So actually, right here. Okay. Can I have that? Can I have that? Yeah. Thanks. Get out. Get out. Make sure they actually interview me this time. Yeah, thanks, Dick.
I don't know, Richard. A spunky little guy, that Johnny Collins.
All right, well, Johnny Collins is coming up later on in the program.
Anyway, that tag match,
oh my God! Like beforehand, we talked it up, and it worth every single second of it.
I get by with a little help from my friends.
That's back when the fans liked you guys.
They still like us.
Well, maybe not you.
I like us.
All right, so like I said, Johnny Collins coming up later in the program.
They're nerds anyway, like honestly.
And of course, your segment later on with
Eric James. What an interview with Eric James. Eric James and I have been on rocky ground, I'd say, for like the last year.
Right.
But it's been a while since we've seen each other, and it was nice to sit down and have a conversation with an old friend.
All right.
No matter how poorly he chooses to do business. But anyway.
All right. Well, all that's coming up later on. Right now, here's Jack Tomlinson.
Oh, this is where the nerds ask Jack a bunch of questions.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy, Pro Wrestling's resident vlogging wrestler, the wrestler and leader of the Jack Pack, Jack Tomlinson. That's me. And I hope you are all having a great time here at Championship Glory. And I can't see how you couldn't be, because there's been a lot of great wrestlers to step into a VPW ring, but only the best of the best get to hold the gold. And don't worry, Jack Pack, we'll be getting that gold real soon. But before we get to that, I know you all have some questions, and I have the answers for all of you. So why don't we get to that, like right now? Question number one, y'all want to know, what do I miss most about professional wrestling? Okay, this is going to sound cliche, but what I miss most about professional wrestling is all of you. I miss my Jack Pack. I miss the fans. You know, I film in front of a camera every day of my life, but there's something special about performing in front of a live audience. And once you have that feeling, there's nothing like it. And like, I really just miss wrestling in front of the fans. Question number two. Okay, here we go. What do you love most about Victory Pro Wrestling? All right, so I again can say what I love most about Victory Pro Wrestling is, again, the fans, because I really do feel like I have a special connection with the Victory Pro fan base and all the youngsters and all the kids that come out. Like, I love all of you. You're all amazing. The energy you bring is the Jack Pack energy, and that's amazing. But I don't want to have back-to-back questions with the same answer. So what I will say that I love most about Victory Pro Wrestling is the trust and opportunities they give me. My first match ever in Victory Pro Wrestling was a #1 contendership match for the New York State Championship. And within a year of that, I found myself in back-to-back main events, one of which was challenging for the Victory Pro World Championship. Don't worry, we're going to get there someday. But just knowing that backstage, that management has that trust in me, has that faith in me, is so amazing, and I just don't want to let them down. And last but not least, question number 3, what are your goals when you return to Victory Pro Wrestling? It's very simple, and this is championship glory, isn't it? The goal, the plan is a championship. Alrighty, well, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you all again so much for asking your questions. I had a blast answering them for all of you. And if you want to stay up to date on all things me, make sure to find me on all my social media accounts. And if you like the shirt I'm wearing, or maybe you like this shirt, or maybe you like this shirt, or maybe you're even a fan of this shirt, you can get one or all of them at ProWrestlingTees.com/JTVlog. Cop the merch, join the family, join the Jack Pack, and most importantly, enjoy the rest of Championship Glory.
Are his walls cinder block?
Yeah.
What does he live in a prison camp? His parents run the local gulag? What? You think I don't know, you think Tom Holland's stunt will do a little better?
Come on.
You know what, nerds? Buy his t-shirts. Maybe we can get him some insulation and sheetrock.
Are you serious? Come on. That's his college dorm. He's got Star Wars stuff in the background.
Yeah, great. I bet he does awesome with the chicks. Check out my Stormtrooper helmet. Nerd.
All right.
What's next?
We have the New York State Championship.
My favorite title in Victory Pro Wrestling, by the way.
That's probably one of my favorite belts, too.
Yeah.
The old belt was really nice.
I know. It's in my closet.
Is it still torn up?
Yeah. It's in its original form.
Pure, utter destruction.
Yep. Which was pretty much destroyed in my bag for, a record-setting reign. And it's even got a dent in the main plate from my forehead.
You have the second longest New York State Championship.
Yeah, but mine's also the first one and the only one that counts.
All right. Well, this is the New York State Championship. 51% of you voted for this.
That's just a little more than half.
And it is Jorge Sante defending the title.
Oh, fire turd, Jorge Santi.
Against VSK.
Wasn't that his thing? Fire turd?
No, it wasn't fire. It was Firebird.
Oh, you say tomato, I say fire turd. To the match, nerd.
Come on, George. Come on, George. Take him back, George. Come on, George, out of there. Come on, George. Back into your attitude. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the match, Harvard Footwear Party.
Okay, so this is your microphone. Microphone for me. Yeah, if you want me to use that. Yeah, it's okay. I'll use it to talk.
You know, at first I was unsure about him. You know, he had that stupid haircut. He wore the furry boots, pink tights. I was like, this kid's a little weird. But I kind of like him. He's kind of a jerk. And I kind of enjoy that. Good for you, Johnny Collins.
Johnny Collins, we will be talking with him later on tonight. We also have...
Hey, what about that New York State title match we just watched?
That was a good match. It was a good match.
It was a fantastic match. To be honest with you, I was a little surprised by the ending there.
You were there that night.
Yeah, but I don't remember George Santi winning one match, let alone enough to, sustain the title run. Good for you, George.
He won that championship at the Gold Rush Rumble, and he retained it for quite a bit of time.
I won a Gold Rush Rumble. You know that?
You did?
I was the only person to be number one in the Gold Rush Rumble.
Yes.
And to win it.
Yes.
In the largest Gold Rush Rumble in the history of Victory Pro Wrestling.
You tell us this all the time. He talks about this all the time.
Oh, it's because that's pretty amazing.
All right. Well, also amazing, your interview with Eric James. That's supposed to be coming up later on.
Interview.
Coach Mammone will also be here later on tonight.
Jesus. You know that idiot just got married? I think it was at Cozy Mel's or
what?
P.F. Chang's.
Not P.F. Chang's.
I saw the pictures. He was at the macaroni grill.
We'll talk to him later on.
Sizzler or something. Good for you, I guess.
This is not a bad place. Wait, is there even a Sizzler anymore?
Yeah, you just got married there. Yeah, you think for a nerd, you'd be up on this internet stuff.
All right. We're going to come back in a little bit. Right now, we have Behind the Scenes with Stockade.
All right, Victory Pro Wrestling. You're in the home of the Deathmatch as Guardian, Stockade. Something I really don't do. I really don't bring the wrestling world into my personal life, my private life. But you know what? For Victory Pro Wrestling, I'm going to show you guys. You see behind this door, this is my office / reptile room. This is where I keep all the creepy crawlies, I guess some people would say to me. They're the best animals in the world. I love them. I love them since I was 4 or 5 years old. Better than the dog, better than the cat. It's my reptile room, man. I got some animals I've rescued, some of my animals that I bought from shows and some breeders, but let's pop on in and come take a look, shall we? Welcome. Let me shut the door. We get a full view of what we got going on here. So, like I was saying, this is my reptile room, office, memorabilia. Before we get on the animals, I mean, you can check out up there my pin collection, gaming cards I used to play when I was younger that fans have given me, pins that fans have given me or I've collected. You got my mentor, Crusher Dugan, who passed away about a year ago. My certificate for when I graduated wrestling school signed by Mikey Whipwreck. I got some figures that I was given. You got Macho Man. You got, of course, Terry Funk. You got to have Jake Roberts. Greatest tag team of all time, the Road Warriors, Undertaker. I'm probably the only Bradshaw fan in the world. And you got Cactus Jack. You got up there are 3 stuffed animals from Norway. That's Hunnen and Munnen. The Odin's Ravens, and the gray wolf is Fenrir. Got a deer skull I killed when I was like 14 years old. It was my first time hunting. Some of the wrestling stuff. Brand new Legion of Doom inspired jacket. Then you get the Funko Pops. Whole bunch of stuff, man. It's a little bit of Stockade, a little bit of the personal life, a little mishmash of everything I like in the world, everything I think is cool and collectible. Thor, obviously, my Viking heritage. There's too much stuff to go around. But yeah, man, this is it. So I guess we'll start walking around. So we can start with my buddy here. This is Thor. He's a stores monitor. He's not too happy right now. What's up, buddy? You want to come out and say hi to everybody? So this is Thor. All right, buddy. He's camera shy. Thor is a stores monitor. It's an Australian monitor. He's one of the smallest monitors in the world. Monitor lizards are related to Komodo dragons, crocodile monitors, Nile monitors, savanna monitors. Basically, it's also been found out recently that most monitor lizards, if not all, are actually carried in their saliva an enzyme that is actually like a venom. So they're doing studies now that basically these dudes are venomous. I don't know how toxic it would be if he bit me. I don't know if he'd barely break the skin. But yeah, that's what's going on. This is Godzilla. This is like the OG of the reptile room. There he is. So I've always been into reptiles my whole life as a kid, but of course, due to situations and housing and moving a lot, being on the road, I got in and out of them. But a couple of years ago, I went to a reptile expo, and I wanted to get back into keeping reptiles because, like I said, I love them to death. And he was the guy that I purchased. A very simple animal. This is a leopard gecko. He's some kind of morph. I'm not 100% sure what kind. I really don't care, but you can tell he's a big, healthy boy because he's got a nice, big, fat tail. And yeah, these are, honestly, if somebody would ask me, hey, what's like one of the best starter pets? This is it right here. He's got a nice, big head. You don't want to get bit by one of these guys because for a little lizard, man, they lock on. They don't let go. They got some strong jaws. So this is my latest rescue. This is my female leopard tortoise. I rescued from someone that couldn't take care of her anymore. So the leopard tortoise, let me see if I can get her to pop her head out. Come on, sweetheart. So she's about full grown. Like I said, I rescued her. The previous owner was moving, couldn't take care of her. And I got the phone call, and, I took her in because unfortunately there's no pound for these guys. A lot of times animals like this either get dropped off at pet stores or unfortunately even worse, let loose into the wild. And you can imagine in the Northeast, an animal from Africa isn't going to do very well. She's a female, like I said, leopard tortoise. They are the 4th largest tortoise in the world, the 2nd largest of a mainland tortoise. And what I mean by mainland is the Galapagos and the Aldabra tortoise, which the Galapagos is the largest, the Aldabra is the 2nd largest. They are island tortoises. They only reside on small islands in the Galapagos, and I forget where the Aldabras exactly are, but they're small islands. The sulcata and the leopard tortoise, which is what she is, are mainland Africa. The sulcata being bigger. And the cool thing about the sulcata and the leopards, she's being shy. If I put her on the ground, she'll start walking around. But the cool thing about the leopards and the sulcata is they can actually crossbreed. And then you get leprechadas, which is the combination hybrid. I don't know if she's going to come out. But it's pretty cool. I mean, you can see like these modified scales that are used to basically wait off predators. They can't close their shells totally like a turtle can because this is a tortoise. And it's basically a little dinosaur. And she's super cool. And she's a little bulldozer. She's a little Matt Tremont. And then this tough guy right here. This is my jeweled Lacerda. Because I'm a dork, this is Odin. A lot of my animals have Viking names. Just something that, I don't know, I like Vikings. This is my jeweled Lacerda. They're also called the jeweled lizard. They're from Spain, that Mediterranean area. They're called the poor man's tegu, which tegu is another type of eyelid lizard they're called as well. This guy's a little bulldozer. See, he thinks he's going to get fed. He's always hungry. You going to bite me? We're not going to bite today. So you can see that forked tongue coming out, taste in the air, trying to figure out what's going on. And he just wants to get away. These guys are super cool. They get a lot bigger. He's going to get about 2 feet. If he's a male, he's going to get a nice, big, thick head. If it's a female, which I'm not 100% sure on, the head's going to stay about the same, very slim, very small. Regardless, I love them either way. I think they're super cool lizards. They're not very common in the trade. It's not considered in the reptile trade or like anything. There's prized animals. There's those that are highly sought after, your monitors, your tegus, your bearded dragons. But these guys aren't really considered. They're considered an oddball. But they should be a lot more. They should be a lot more popular. They're super cool. Like I said, they're a mini tegu. Tegus get huge, around anywhere from 3 to 6 feet, depending on the locality, depending on the species. And these guys have all the personality of tegu without the size. Coming to the ambassador of the room. This is Chubbs. He's another rescue from someone that bought him for their daughter, I believe. I think it was. The daughter just lost interest. But this is probably one of the most commonly seen reptiles people know about. This is a bearded dragon. They're super cool. They are super calm. They're one of the best pets. I believe a couple of years ago, maybe even still, they were voted the best pet in America over a dog, over a cat, hamster, guinea pig, bird, because of their manageable size, their personality. He just wants to hang out and chill. He has no care in the world, and he's an awesome dude. You can come right up in the camera. Like I said, no care in the wall. It's a little dinosaur, right, buddy? I'll actually keep him, have him chill with us for a little bit. So in here, we're going to try to find, well, there's one right there. So in here are probably the most chaotic and crazy. There we go. See if I can get it. There we go. I can get a good shot of them. These are my emerald green tree skinks. There's 3 of them in there. It's Skull, Hati, and Fenrir, named after the wolves from Norse mythology. These guys are super cool. They're not really handleable. They're super flighty, as you can see. If I go to even stick my hand in there, they're going to lose their minds. There's one, the bigger one, the guy back there, he actually lost his tail because he actually got out, and I luckily enough was able to catch him, but he dropped his tail. There's a good shot you can get right now. So these guys are super cool, straight up insectivores. They will eat a little bit of the Pangea crested gecko diet that I give them occasionally. But yeah, these guys are super cool. Like I said, not really more of a hey, look at me lizard than handle me. Same thing with the guy in here. So this is Ragnar, named after Ragnar Lothbrok, a Vikings fan. He has a little attitude. There he is. So Ragnar is a green tree lacerda or green belly keeled lizard. Same family as Odin. They're both lacerdas. As Odin, as I said, he's called a poor man's tegu, in my opinion. Ragnar here would be a poor man's green tree monitor. Same coloration, just in a tiny package, same attitude. And I can actually, let me go get him a worm because he's probably going to eat. I'll get that on video for you. Show you everybody, show you all the kids eating. So, let's get around you real quick. So the cool thing about Ragnar is he's, from what I understand, and I noticed it with him, but most lacerdas are very intelligent. He's actually, come on, buddy, what are you? Camera shy now? No? Okay. Next, put me on the spot here. He's like, no, I'm not gonna do that for you. I've seen videos of lacerda actually jump out of the tank, run around the shoulders of their keeper, and go right back in the tank. So they're very smart. They know what they're doing. Yeah, I mean, he's, like I said, another awesome look-at-me animal, not really someone you want to hold. The cool thing about the lacerdas, even the, like I said, the green tree skinks, they can drop the tail. The leopard gecko can drop his tail. Chubbs here can't drop his tail, which is super cool. Are you going to eat now, buddy? You want to eat now? Is that why you're on your log? The monitor can't drop his tail, but these guys can, but it's extremely rare. And I'm not a big fan of lizards that can drop the tail. He's all defensive now. These chubs. So the cool thing was when these guys get defensive, they see he can open his mouth, they'll stick their tongue out and they'll actually tripod. He'll actually get up on his hind legs and raise himself with his tail, and he'll use that tongue as a threatening display. But he's probably all freaked out because he's seen this big lizard thinking he's going to get eaten. Now we'll get to the fun stuff. So this is Diablo. This is a snow corn snake, one of the best starter snakes, starter reptiles you can have in general. He was another rescue, so I believe it's in total, I want to say 3 animals are rescue. As he just does his thing. But yeah, this is a full-grown male corn snake. There we go. This is a color variation, a genetic morph. Come on, buddy. Corn snakes are known to be very, they don't stay still. They're very wiry. They're very always in motion, always trying to see what's going on. This is a color variation. So what this is basically is through breeding of multiple snakes, they find small traits, genetic morphs, albino, pattern morphs, scaleless. There's so many different morphs now, especially with corn snakes and ball pythons, which is one of the other snakes I have. But they breed them and breed them and breed them until you get a snow corn snake, which is not a true albino. A true albino corn snake is where you can see, I don't know if you can tell these markings here, these almost cream color markings. On an albino, they are red. So this is a snow. And like I said, there are many, 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 many morphs. I'm not a big fan of morphs. I don't like the idea of it. And everyone's like, well, why do you have a morph? Well, like I said, he was a rescue. Some of the ball python morphs I really like. Like I am getting a blue-eye leucistic ball python, which I will show you what a ball python looks like, as he doesn't want to sit still. You don't want to sit still today, do you? So I use tongs with this one because he has such a good feeding response that every time I go to move him while he's in the tank, he thinks he's getting fed. So I just give him a little bit of a, hey, you're not getting fed, buddy. And I don't know. So this right here, this is a juvenile rosy boa. This is a constrictor. And if we come over to my lovely poster here of North American snakes. So this poster was gifted to me. And it shows every snake species in North America. So my point right here, it's a rosy boa. Just the reason why the colors are different is because snakes are like people. Depending on the locale where they come from or their terrain, their colors vary. Whether some snakes come from this desert. This locality comes from a very, I believe, a very rocky slate field area, hence the grays and everything and the browns. And like I was saying, You got milk snake. You got corn snake right there. So every snake on here, except for these two right here, these are all colubrids. And then down here, the 1, 2, everybody, these two are lapids, which are in the cobra family. And these are your vipers. And these are all the snakes of North America. Some that we have even in New York, like your common garter snake. What else do we have here? The black rat snake we have occasionally. But everything else is down south. Nobody has to worry about it. I think timber rattlesnake is on here somewhere. Yep. We have those upstate. Copperhead. Oh, sorry, copperhead. But yeah, so this is back into this little dude. His name is Noodle, because as much as I'm a badass and I scare a lot of people and I beat people up, I'm also a sweetheart when it comes to reptiles. And yeah, I don't know. He looked like when I got him, he was yay big. And he looked like literally looked like a piece of spaghetti. But yeah, he's awesome. They are a very sluggish, slow species. They're not a very fast species. And you could totally see the difference between him and the corn snake, like just the personality wise. He's just very laid back. But he's feeding on fuzzy mice. The corn snake eats live adult mice. I feed my snakes live. A lot of people have a problem with that, but I just have a thing about frozen. I don't like eating frozen meat, so I'm not going to feed my snakes frozen rats or mice. And finally, this would be the biggest, and he's not full grown, and he's just getting out of shed, so mind the way he looks. He's got a little dry skin on him. I know. So this right here, this is 8-ball. I know he's not named after what probably some people think. This is my Mojave ball python, 8-ball. This is quite possibly, as you see, he's got some dry skin stuck on him. Try to get some of that off. This is probably itching him. This right here, this animal, this snake, this species of snake, I should say, this is the animal that, in my opinion, turned the reptile hobby on its head. I can sit here and talk about ball pythons all day. If we got time, we will. So like I was saying, ball pythons basically turned the reptile hobby from, it used to be about, like I was saying, the locales, where the animal was from, why there was different color variations. And then along came the leopard gecko, which was already in the hobby, but the leopard gecko and the ball python, all of a sudden in the hobby, you started seeing, now it's, I would say maybe 1,000 different types of morphs. But they completely came in, and the genetic morphs, the color variations, the patterns, anything now. So these guys right here, this is as good as it gets in terms of a reptile. Like, I absolutely adore ball pythons. They can be a pain in the ass when it comes to feeding. They are known to go on hunger strikes where they won't eat for months. And 8-ball over here, kind of. Where you going, buddy? He hasn't eaten, but he just shed, so I'm hoping to give him a nice big rat soon, and we will fatten him up. But yeah, like I was saying, ball pythons. This is a puppy dog. This is a dog with no legs. But they completely changed the reptile industry, in my opinion. Just with the morphs and the color variations. And honestly, all my animals, except for the skinks, the lacerda, the monitor, the leopard tortoise, the jewel lacerda. If somebody came in here and said, hey, give me 2 lizards and two snakes, it'd be the ball python, it'd be the bearded dragon, it'd be the corn snake, and it'd be the leopard gecko in terms of starters. To me, there's no better than this. This is a color variation. This is a Mojave ball python. And 2 Mojaves produce my favorite ball python morph, which is the blue-eyed Lucy, which is, you can imagine this snake, which they do get a lot bigger. You're looking at a 4-foot animal. But this snake right here, completely snow white. And, come on, buddy, let's get your eyes. And you can see how his eyes are, normal ball python eyes. They are blue. I'm talking like ocean blue. It's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful animal. It's a genetic morph. It's, in my opinion, the prettiest of all the ball python morphs. But yeah, this doesn't get any better than this. So we can get shit here. But yeah, this is my reptile room. This is where I go to get away from the grind, the madness of the world, and calm down and enjoy my life. I come here, I sit around with my buddies and my friends, and I don't have any kids of my own, so these are my kids. But I love these guys. I've loved them since I was a kid, and I really hope, hey man, you guys checking this out. Hope you learned something, and I hope I inspired somebody. Maybe go to their local pet store or check out a reptile expo, and I don't know, become a new fan of the hobby. Because I'll be honest, like there are tons of people out here that have these animals. Some people that don't do it right, some people that do it phenomenal, and some people that just need a little guidance. I'm not no expert. I just had these animals since I was a kid, and I do the best I can to make sure they're happy and healthy. And I'm always learning and always getting better. But if somebody, watched this and somebody was like, hey, you know what? I really want a snake, by all means, reach out to me on Facebook, Instagram, however you have to. Contact Victory Pro Wrestling if you need to find out how to get a hold of me. But yeah, this is it, man. This is Stockade outside of the ring. This is what I do. This is my life. I hope you guys enjoyed it.
On sale now at the VPW shop. Get your Stockade shirts now for just $19.99. Also on sale, hoodies, tank tops, duffel bags, mugs, and more. Get your Stockade gear now at the VPW shop at victoryprowrestling.com.
And don't forget to get your stuff at the VPW shop at victoryprowrestling.com. What?
I'm just saying, there's something unsettling about watching a large bearded man play with a snake. Is what it is.
It was watching all of these animals and seeing how much he loves and cares for them. The lizards and the huge tortoise.
Guy loves this huge tortoise. It's a huge tortoise you got there, pal.
All right, you want to do this?
Of course I want to do this. What are we doing? I know what we're doing. We're going now to my pre-recorded comments with Eric James. Now, with Eric James, we're talking about a certain New York State title match that happened at the Victory Pro Wrestling's Blood, Sweat, and 8 Years, which is the 8-year anniversary show. It was in front of probably the largest crowd we've had to date for Victory Pro Wrestling.
It also helped set the tone for a lot of our crowds afterwards, too.
In the Deer Park Community Center, which is no longer a thing.
But it's a thing. It's just not a thing for wrestling.
Right. They don't hold wrestling there anymore. And
so what? Now we don't hold wrestling, so it doesn't exist?
Right.
You know what? Let's cut all that part out.
Yep.
I can't tell you why yet.
Are we going to be running wrestling?
I don't know. Coach did reach out to me, though.
Yeah. Yes, I heard you about the wrestling show.
So you had to tell me it all over again.
What did I say that made you laugh on?
Oh, yeah, that might be a kid watching.
And I said, I hope not.
And don't forget, get your gear at the VPW shop at victoryprowrestling.com.
Watching a...
All right, let's move on. Now it's time for the segment I'm sure you're most excited about.
Oh, absolutely. Fresh take. Anyway, we've got here tonight an interview with Eric James. Now, the premise of this interview, you're going to hear a little backstory on Eric James, how he got started. But the interview is building towards a match that he had in the Deer Park Community Center.
But before he was Tyler Khan.
Yes.
This write this down. It gets confusing.
A little bit. But anyway, it was a New York State title match.
Mm-hmm.
We had AJ Styles in the main event that night.
Man, what
so we had the largest crowd on hand that we've probably had to date for Victory Pro Wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
The energy in the building was palpable.
They turned people away.
We turned them away at the door.
There was no room. There was just no room. It was such a great night. It was such a hot crowd too. So exciting.
Yeah.
So exciting. From bell to bell. Every match on that card, it was just so intense for everybody.
And there was a lot of pressure for everybody to have
That is true.
a great showing that night. And, Eric James and Kai, they went out there and tore the house down. So anyway, let's get to the interview.
Okay.
And then we'll watch the match.
Okay.
And then we'll come back here and talk about how fantastic my interview skills are. And here we are in our next evolution of the fresh shoots, shooting with fresh, talking fresh,
shooting on fresh, whatever.
Anything. Whoa, easy, pal. With me tonight, I've got Eric James, the current New York State champion of Victory Pro Wrestling.
It's been so long.
It's been a while.
I think that belt is somewhere in my closet.
Anyway, New York.
My wife threw it out. One of those.
Right. Anyway, Eric James, you are the topic of discussion.
Don't do that.
And I just popped 3 people.
Don't do that.
3 of them.
You better hope 3 people watch this.
No, I watched the little numbers in the corner. We do all right. We do okay.
You do okay.
Anyway.
Right.
Anyway, let's talk a little bit. Obviously, we've been friends for like a super duper long time.
Have we?
Yeah.
Because the last interview you did with another friend of over a decade,
right,
was a very weird interview.
It was my first go around.
You guys were both pretty stiff.
Right. Well,
both in and out of the ring.
Some
Both you
people
guys
pin stiff, some
as-
people punch stiff. What do you want to say? Anyway, when and where did you decide you were going to be a professional wrestler?
I mean, like everybody else's story, right? You love it when you're a kid, but I didn't decide to like really go for it until I guess I was like 16, like just turned 16. And a buddy of mine had ran into Xavier.
Okay.
R.I.P.
Rest in peace, Xavier. Yep.
And for like, man, maybe like less than 2 months, he trained us.
And where did he do that?
This was somewhere in Astoria. And I think the owner of the ring, his name was the Gladiator or something like that. I never seen anybody else there.
Okay.
It was just me, my buddy, and Xavier, and we would go there like maybe once or twice a week, whenever Xavier was available. This was a very short time. So then I guess I was like 16, like I said. So then that ended quickly.
Right.
After like 2 months. Not that I like lost the itch, but we just kind of like, Xavier was doing his own thing. He didn't have his own school. He was just using that ring. And then said friend, who is Kono Capuccio.
Right.
He called me one day and he was like, "Yo, I want to do my own show. Do you want to be on it?" And I was like, "Yo, I trained for 2 months with Xavier." I'm like, basically Bret Hart, right? So I said, yeah. And he went down to Victory Pro Wrestling, which was owned by Sean Hurley at the time.
Right.
Or as we know him, Donnie Bon Jovi.
Cool.
Yeah.
No.
So, again, same 3 people are popped right now, by the way.
Right. Maybe 10 on that one. We might have got 10 on that one.
So we get there, and Kono does all the talking, which was not the greatest idea, but Kono's a good dude. And Sean was like, yeah, we'll talk. And then he said to me and Kono, he said, "Do you guys wrestle?" Oh, by the way, I took the ride with Kono to go meet with Sean to rent this ring
at the community
Deer
center?
Park, where he was going to use that ring for whatever show he was going to run at the time. This is now 2 years after.
Was that on a training day? Were there people like actively
training?
training?
Yeah, there were people there.
Okay.
I don't know how good they were at the time. I remember walking in and seeing Xander Page.
Okay.
And Jay Delta. Those are the only 2 people that I can distinctly remember.
I remember the first 3 that I saw, and it was JD, Xander, and Razzle.
Oh, Razzle.
I've got a story about that for another day.
Razzle's a staple. So, all right. So anyway, we trained with Xavier. Fucking 2 years later, Kono decides he's going to run his own show. I go down with him to rent this ring. We walk in. They have a conversation. We're about to leave, and Sean goes, "Hey, are you guys a tag team? I'm looking for tag teams." And without even looking at each other, we just said, yeah. And I hadn't seen Kono since we were training with Xavier.
Right.
He just called me out of the blue. So we said yeah, and we got booked on that following show, which was like 3 weeks later.
Okay.
So then we asked, we said, hey, can we come down here and have some ring time? Can we roll around or whatever? Sean said yeah. And I'm sure he knew right away that we were not an actual tag team,
Right.
nor were we properly trained.
Now, can we come down here and roll around like in an open ring kind of environment?
Yeah, like,
or was it like, hey, we need to be part of your school?
Like, all right, so at first we were like, hey man, we should ask him if we can come down here and roll around or whatever. But I was like, nah, I'm gonna like this is it. All right, so I'm gonna dive back into wanting to become a professional wrestler. So we accidentally ran into Xavier when we were 16 or 17 or whatever that was, and then a year and a half, 2 years later, we kind of accidentally fell into being a part of Victory Pro Wrestling.
Were you watching independent wrestling at that point?
No,
never seen it.
I mean, I seen it and I knew it was out there. Like,
I didn't even know it was a thing.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, I knew it was out there, but I never went out of my way to go to shows. Like, I knew Xavier was popular at ROH at the time.
He was like the first ROH. I don't know if it was the first, but he was like
I don't know the stat either, but yeah, I remember knowing who he was because of independent wrestling. But I had never gone to a show, didn't really know like the ins and outs of wrestling, and there's a million politics,
right?
So I didn't know any of that. So that's how I got into Victory Pro Wrestling, and like literally because of the people there and like the ambiance, like for what it was at the time. This is pre Ricky Reyes being the head trainer.
Well, that's where I was about to go next. You were there before I got there.
Yeah.
So who was running the training at the time?
Nobody. Sean was ish.
Right, I mean, but he would have you on the floor.
Never had me on the floor.
Okay.
I never, when I first got there, I was never like on the outside, had to learn chain wrestling for the first couple weeks. Sean thought that we were
already knew what we were
doing.
Name of that tag team, by the way?
There were so many. It was Pretty Poison.
And then there was the really dumb one that
Suicide Kings.
Yes, yeah. Because you could be a king of suicide. Because
dude, this is pre everyone being a pussy though. So Suicide Kings was like whatever. At the
right, because once you do it once, you're the king of it.
You're the king of it. Yeah, absolutely.
100%. And who came up with that name?
Bro, now you're asking me. You're asking me like way too. I don't know. You have to understand also. Like we were just happy to be part of the show.
Right.
Like we kind of felt like, all right, like we're in, so we gotta like really play the part here.
Well, I remember when I first got there, like you guys were talking about you were doing like NWS and like you were doing shows or something. So I was like, oh, these guys must know already what they're doing.
Yeah. So Kono and I, we got booked when we shouldn't have been getting booked. Like that's just kind of how shit happened, I think we did PWS as a tag team too.
Right.
So like early, bro. Like I'm talking again, this is pre Ricky Reyes.
Right.
Like we did one VPW show and then just started telling people we were wrestlers. He actually knew more people on the inside than I did at the time.
Mm-hmm.
He worked for Jack at
the wrestling store.
Yeah, the wrestling universe.
Yeah.
And this was when it was in Whitestone, so this is like early days of that. And guys would come in. I'm pretty sure that's where he met Xavier.
It had to have been, right?
Guys would come in and he'd be like, oh, and he would talk to them. And then we got booked at PWS, which we had no business doing.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing led to another.
Maybe that's what I was thinking of. And then, all right. So then I remember at the time, like Sean was doing a little bit of the training when I got there. And then J Delta was kind of doing it. And every once in a while, Sabotage,
mm-hmm.
Mike Law,
mm-hmm.
he'd be down there, helping out with the training and stuff.
Yeah, because the Johnny Rod's guys were the main guys at VPW at the time, like on their shows. So he would ask, Minion to come down and those guys and Flex and Joe So, RIP.
And then we got Ricky Reyes.
Mm-hmm.
Real quick, how important to you is/was Ricky Reyes?
Probably the most influential, wrestler on me personally. I mean, we'll call it what it is. Nowadays, there's a new home for me, a new place that I call home, and the people there, like Brian and Pat and those guys, like those guys are really instrumental for what I'm doing now. And
but who's to say we wouldn't have washed out already, or you wouldn't have washed out already,
right?
If there,
right. If there was, what it was about Ricky Reyes? It's like he taught me to have it like here,
right?
Instead of just so much I used to be really athletic. I don't know if you know that about me.
Mm-hmm. I remember.
So, but he taught me kind of what to do with it, and where to put it and how to.
Well, you got to team with him for a while.
Yeah, that was some of the most fun I've ever had. That dude, as much as, and you know this, like as much as Ricky was important to us, we are just as important to Ricky.
To him, yeah.
Like we completely, as a group of misfits, like completely changed his way of thinking. Like we actually, I feel like we
turned on his personality a little bit.
Like he always had it up here, and he always knew what to do. You know what I'm saying? But like we opened the new
he was
door
always
for him.
I'm a serious wrestler, Ricky Reyes.
Yeah, and then it was kind of like, oh, these idiots are getting over by singing in the middle of their matches and like being idiots.
Right.
I can do that.
Right.
And
all
he
of a sudden
did
it turned into tickle butt in the middle.
Combined with what he already was doing. I mean, Ricky Reyes is one of the most just smart professional wrestlers that anyone can.
Well, getting to team with him, I'd imagine like standing on the apron is like
it's a class,
right?
But yeah, it was also like getting to pick his brain and stuff like that. When Ricky came in, you remember he was like the
mean, sat in the corner,
the tough dude that like
oh.
wrestled in Japan, and everyone was like, "Oh my god,
this isn't going to be fun anymore."
Yeah. Everyone was like, "Oh shit, we gotta like really learn what we're doing."
Right. Squats. What?
Yeah. Well, squats. What you mean?
Right.
What you mean 3/4 roll? What?
Right.
What?
Right.
Do
the long drill.
The universal, the European, just do it.
Yeah.
Just that man.
Shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We took a lot of verbal abuse from Ricky, but we deserved it.
Right. But then it like look at the people like it made us. Like it kind of made us like mean standoffish jerks. But like a little bit. But I think like it also made us like the way we understand, like we could take somebody now who didn't understand something and kind of put it in context for them.
Because of Ricky Reyes, I call people at my shoot job dipshit.
Mm-hmm.
I call my family dipshit. Mm-hmm. Like everyone is dipshit. I call my dog dipshit. Everybody.
And everything's a deal and a gimmick.
Everyone's a deal. Everything's a deal and everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything's a gimmick. Not only that, like he went from being the mean guy to our trainer to like I consider him a really good friend.
Great friend.
And
even now, he helped you out at Monster Factory or.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I came back to wrestling, that was like one of the first outside of VPW that I was able to do. And then as soon as I got there, the promoter there, Danny, he was like, "Oh, this is Ricky's boy. This is Ricky's boy."
Right.
Like just give him a match. This is Ricky's boy. So his name still holds weight.
Yeah. Speaking of Ricky's boy, Kyler, Ian.
I got a text. He texted me today.
I don't know what to even call him at this point anymore.
Dipshit.
Dipshit. Ricky's son. Not really. That's a joke. But you had a match with him at the 8th anniversary show, right? For the New York State title. It's actually going to be the one we're showcasing on this show we're talking on right now.
Yeah.
You have anything you want to say about that? About working with Kyler, Ian?
All right. So Kai at the time was greener than grass.
Right.
It was just, and not that I was this unreal like seasoned professional, but I had already been doing it. And Kai didn't know, and I don't mean to break the fourth wall, he didn't know that this wasn't supposed to be real.
Right. It's not supposed to really hurt.
Yeah. I'm not supposed to have concussions and stuff like that. It took him a long time to learn that. So the program was brutal.
Yeah.
But there were one or two bright spots in there, and this match was definitely one of them. It was cool for me because we went on right before AJ Styles.
Right.
And because he was there, the house was fucking packed.
What you're gonna see when you watch the match following this interview, but
House was packed, and he's in there with Tibbs, who's over like nobody's business, and VSK, who's over like crazy, you know, and Graves, who was also coming up and really good. So
this is probably what Graves. It might have been a year in at that point.
Oh, he was greener than Kai.
You're right.
So we're on right before that, and we were getting insane pops.
Would you say at that point, what year was that? 2013, 2012?
Maybe 2012. Maybe 2011. Dude.
Couldn't have been 2011.
No?
'Cause I dropped that title to Kai in April of 20...
I believe you. It was probably 2012.
Whatever it was.
2012.
But it's safe to say that was the most amount of people you had wrestled in front of at that point. I mean, the place was, all the chairs were sold out. It was wall to wall, standing room only. That was the biggest crowd we've ever had there. The place held a lot of people.
Yeah, maybe to that point. I mean, I wouldn't really have the answer to that, but yes, it was a lot of people.
So big crowd, loud crowd, hot house, match before AJ Styles,
and the energy was through the roof. I mean, you got every chant that you
needed.
That you need. I'm looking back now. I mean, I haven't watched the match in years, but looking back now, there's probably things that we would nitpick at and say, "Oh, we got to change this." We also have to put on weight and go tanning, and shit like that. But for where we were at the time and what was going on in that show, that match was dope.
Yeah, could have done anything. People have been throwing the babies in the air.
It was a really good match. It was really fun.
Did he hurt you?
Yeah. You want to know what I remember about that match? So we're talking prior to the show, and he says, "Hey, I want to start doing this thing. I'm gonna hold your arms. I'm gonna put my foot on you, and I'm gonna curb stomp you." And I'm like, "All right, man, yeah." But I never said no to anything, and that was a big problem of mine. Like I was just like, I was a cowboy, and I was like, "Yeah, let's do it, whatever." And in that match, he never let go of my arms for me to take the bump. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So he pulled me by the wrists, he sat me up, and he just was like, just kind of like kicking me. And like
pulling both your arms.
Yes, yeah, dude,
like handlebars on a motorcycle.
Like fucking torture, bro. Yeah. But that was the kind of stuff Kai did early in his career.
I remember one time I worked with him. The two real matches I had with him. The first one, like right out of the gate, he just punched me in the mouth.
Yeah.
We were like a minute in, he punched me in the mouth, and it wasn't even like he was throwing a punch. We were like going for a lockup, and he punched me in the mouth. And then whenever we spill out to the floor, and I just mashed his face on the apron. Sometimes if you mashed his face into something, he calmed down a little bit.
I mean, you also weren't the lightest either.
And then in the next one, we're doing the crossface chicken wing. I'm dropping the title, so I'm not going to tap out. I'm going to pass out.
Okay.
And John Q, the referee,
and you really, really choked you out.
Right. And John Q's holding off to call for the bell. And I'm dying. And John Q's like checking my arm and shit. And I'm like, oh my God, just ring the fucking bell. And then he did. But working with Kai was always fun. I mean, if you look at any of it back, it was always a good match. It always looked good.
Well,
but it was real.
It was real
the entire time.
He knocked me out. I can't remember if it was before or after the match with AJ on the show, the 8th anniversary show. I can't remember where it was in our program, but he went to hit me with an STO. And again, he didn't know that I'm supposed to do the bump.
Right.
And he killed me. And I'm sure that match is somewhere on YouTube, but I was asleep on the second rope on my knees leaning on the second rope.
I doubt it's
Out.
on YouTube because VPW.
Out like a light. Oh yeah,
Yeah, right now.
VPW.
Matches had a way of disappearing for a decade.
Yeah, that's crazy, right?
Right?
Whatever, man. Kai knocked me out. It's out there. Someone has it. Someone has that footage.
All right. Well, anyway, we're gonna go now to the match from the 8th anniversary show. This is Kai Katana versus Eric James at the time, EJ Risk, for the Victory Pro Wrestling New York State Championship.
Yeah, this is many tens and many pounds ago. So don't judge us, I guess.
VPW, it is I, Carlo, voice the rock star above you. And as the future face of VPW, when shows start running again, I have a bone to pick with management because they had a 2021 King of New York show and they didn't invite the rock star. What's up with that? But instead, they invite people like Philip Cardigan. Philip Cardigan over the rock star. Philip Cardigan, the boneheaded idiot. The chicken lip butt plug. The cupcake mother.
Hey, Carlo Vice, how you doing?
Hey, Philip,
good to
what's
see
up,
you.
buddy?
Hey, man.
How are you, man?
I'm great. Well, what's going on?
Oh,
over there?
dude, I'm filming for VPW.
Vegan pro wrestling?
I guess.
Oh, all right, cool. Whatever. Hey, listen, I noticed you were at the King of New York video thing they did.
I know, and
Yeah.
you were invited.
I was
Yeah,
invited. I was
they
there.
invite little shrimps there. They invite
Yeah.
rusty dildos there,
Oh, well.
but they don't invite the rock star.
I
I don't know. Hey, listen, man. I'll talk to management, see what I can do, and maybe I'll get you on the show. But hey, here's something to think about. Maybe if you stop complaining all the time and whining, maybe they actually put you on the show. All right. Hey, take care. I'll see you soon. Hey, take care.
Rusty.
That's Carlo Vice. I don't think he's really. Who are you?
Do you have contact info on Rusty?
Rusty? Who's Rusty?
Rusty Diltos? Is that what he said? Is that what a T?
That wasn't what he was saying. First of all, second, Carlo's a very angry person.
Yeah, he's an angry little man.
But he's a good wrestler.
Anyway, well, you know what? Good to see Cardigan made it out all right.
That is true.
That guy's like walking fire retarded. I said the correct word.
Okay.
Come on, 2021, new me.
It was the time we had a sign. It was pushy.
Yeah, well,
it was a little sign.
But anyway, what about that New York State title match? Did you hear how hot that crowd was?
That was a great match.
Crowd was hot. They gave them everything they wanted to see. Two phenomenal athletes, hard hitting.
Could you imagine in a normal Victory Pro Wrestling show coming on after that match?
I'll tell you one thing. It was
and this match, just being the 8-year anniversary show, that was when AJ Styles was the main event.
Right.
With VSK teaming up against
the Church of Tibbs.
Right.
Shout out to Dorian Graves, wherever you are.
Whoever he is.
Well, I know who he is.
Do you though?
Yeah.
Do you?
Mm-hmm. He might be rusty.
I definitely don't think he's rusty. All right, so
no, Diltos.
All right, we're gonna go into our next segment, and this is an opportunity. And we talked about this earlier. Coach Mammone, him and I, we had a conversation. We talked about being the Victory Pro Wrestling champion, how we got into VPW, and what happened recently with him.
All right, we are here with Coach Mammone for this interview that I have no idea what the hell I'm doing here.
It's going to be good, Radio. Don't worry. I have faith in you.
All right, that's one of us. All right, thanks for joining us here. I got Coach Mammone with me, and we are here. This is our interview here for Championship Glory. Coach Mammone, the current Victory Pro Wrestling champion. Thank you. Welcome to the program.
Oh, thank you, Radio. I don't know if you're talking to me or all the millions and millions of viewers right now, but
All right,
thank you for the invite.
Calm down for the millions and millions of users. We got like 4.
The tens and tens.
No, maybe 4.5. I don't know. Someone's got a dog, I'm sure. Okay, so first thing I want to do, of course, is recognize the fact that as you being the current Victory Pro Wrestling champion, where's the belt?
It's in a plaque. Come on, you can't just keep this around. You have to keep it in a very nice place where it's being looked after and it's nice and clean and out of harm's way.
Is there a security guard there?
Yeah, there is 24/7. I have 3 people on 8-hour shifts.
Excellent. Well, okay. So one of the things I want to start you with, of course, obviously being the Victory Pro Wrestling champion, even though you don't have your belt around you, is
Would you like me to get the belt?
Sure, why not?
Good. You keep talking. I'll be back.
I'm going to keep talking. This is great. We can just start from scratch because, why not? This is great.
Where's the belt? Where's the belt?
I can already hear fresh. All right. There we go. There it is, the VPW Championship. And of course, the first thing I want to talk about as the VPW champion, as you've won that title, is where you started out. What got you into pro wrestling?
For me, it was growing up as a huge fan. I grew up in like the late 80s, early 90s watching wrestling. So Hulk Hogan, Ultimate Warrior, those are the guys that I looked up to. A little bit after that was more Bret Hart. So just those are the guys that I idolized. And it was always a dream to be a pro wrestler when I grew up. And maybe about 5 years ago now, I actually had a friend that was in wrestling. He told me all about it, and he said, hey, come check it out. And I was hesitant because I didn't know exactly what was involved or what would happen with it all. And then it really was just one random May Tuesday, I went out to this school and just started. And I was thinking, a lot of it like, oh, I'll start in September. I'll start in this month. Let me start the beginning of the month. And it was just like May 10th or something, just right in the middle. No real reason. Just, hey, let me drive out there and let's see what this is all about. And I want to say since then, it was just so cool.
Those that don't know, Coach Mammone, it's not just a gimmick. It's a way of life for you.
Yes.
You
A
are an
lifestyle.
athlete prior to being a wrestler. What did you do?
I was a track and field distance runner. I ran all through high school. I had a scholarship in college for it. I ran for many years after. Just like with wrestling, I've kind of toured a lot of the U.S. for running. So
Okay.
it's completely different, different lifestyle, different training than wrestling, and just two totally different, even fan bases. Where the running training, you're on your own about an hour, hour and a half each day. So just to kind of put it out there, when I was seriously training, I was doing anywhere from around 75 to 85 miles in a week. So that's about 10 miles a day, 15 on a Sunday. And sometimes that's twice a day running, sometimes once. So that's kind of like what I was doing. And there are guys that are running over 100 miles in a week. That's not even too crazy.
How do you
Yes.
feel that brought you as far as your background, as far as being a runner and transitioning that into wrestling?
So it's funny you said that because I actually wrestled in high school and for a couple of years there. So I picked up on some of the wrestling easier than most just because I kind of had that little background.
You got into wrestling, you started to work, you started to train, you started your first match, you got in the ring. I've seen a couple of matches. There was actually one of you over in Staten Island. I forget who it was you were wrestling with. But this is Warriors, right? And
Okay.
and you were in there, and it was the first time I had ever seen you. This was before you joined VPW, and the thing I think that caught my eye was the silliness when you just went absolutely bonkers, grabbed your whistle, and then just started just tooting away as you were running over your opponent before you hit
Yes.
the splash. Where did that come from?
So it's funny. I started training with Steve Somerset,
Okay.
and at training one night, he actually basically created that. I don't know exactly what move we were going for with it, but I said like I like to do the splash. I always like seeing like even the Ultimate Warrior for his finish. He got up so super high and splashed on his opponent, and
Right.
he's like, "Hey, what if you, what if you step over or run over the guy as you do it?" I was like, okay, that's pretty cool. And then little by little, it started to grow. Hey, what if you grab the whistle and blow the whistle as you step on them? Someone else said, hey, what if you run around a little bit in a circle, kind of like to get everyone revved up for it, saying, hey, you know what's happening next. I'm running around. I'm getting the whistle. Now I'm running over my opponent. For me, a lot of my moves and a lot of my ideas, I like to be very creative and not have the usual or the basic kind of maneuvers, shall I say.
Right. Me and Lenny were kind of looking at matches, and we're like, well, who are we going to bring in? And we said, let's give this kid a try, right? So you come in, and you get to be a part of EPW. And then when you finally got into the show, it was like, all right, let's see what you got. And here you go. You're wrestling this guy.
That was a cowboy.
But he came in, and there you are without the mustache.
Yep.
The famed mustachio that everyone knows you for, right?
Yes.
And here you are, you come on in, and everyone's like, oh, wow, this is pretty cool, whatever. The fans went crazy. You didn't have your mustache, but everyone still loved you anyway. And then there you are. What brought you to VPW? Like, what was your mindset to say, I want to be a part of these guys?
So it's funny, for the company that I was with before, we had shows maybe every few months, and Johnny Collins and I were both from there, and we were actually tag team for a little bit, and we were both trying to just really branch out more to see what else there was on Long Island. Now, I do not know the independent wrestling scene. I was very new to that, didn't know what else was out there, didn't know that, oh, there's these 25 places to train. I heard this one, I went there, and I started there. Then a few other friends were saying, hey, I'm wrestling at VPW, like basically come check that out. So I found either Tina's email or her phone number online, called her up, spoke to her for a little bit, and then she said, yeah, come on down at this show. You'll speak to the old the old owner after her.
Oh, because that's right, because he was
'Cause
still
that-
running the show.
Yes. So that was his last show. So for me, I'm coming out here and I see you, I see Lenny, I see Sean, I see Tina, and I'm just thinking like, well, who's in charge? Who do I need to see? Because originally I wasn't even on the card.
That's right. For 3 years, we still had no idea who was running the show.
That's all right. So because I spoke to Tina and then I saw Sean, I said, hey, I spoke to Tina. I was supposed to be on the show. And he's like, all right, we'll figure out something for you. And then that's when he put me in the match with the Cowboy. Now, I will admit, as you're saying, the fans are going crazy and wild and all that. I don't remember it the same way. I remember walking out and maybe hearing like a few people and almost like, hey, who the hell is this guy? Because like I said, with no mustache, with, the full tracksuit on, and no one knows that it was breakaway pants. It's more like, who's this new face coming out? There's nothing that really stands out with him. All right, maybe we cheer, maybe not. Let's see what happens. And I think that was one of those things, just little by little, the more people got to see me, the more. And in the beginning, I was very much hated. I was getting booed a whole lot. I remember one match, I think it was my second show, actually. They were chanting, "You look stupid."
Well, that's because your mustache was just only
No.
go back in.
All right, maybe it was. Okay, so maybe it was too thin. That would probably make sense now. But this was before the pants came off, before the jacket came off. This was just me in the ring. And in my head, I'm like, oh, they think I look stupid. Can't wait to fully flex and just get my shorts on, have my collared shirt. I'll show them real business.
Then you started scouting out Razzle Dazzle.
Yes.
You started checking him out. What was it about Razzle Dazzle that made you think, I want to see this guy do something?
I did. And I think with my quirkiness, he was a character I was attracted to, as far as, hey, this guy might be able to do something. If he has a little guidance or a little coaching, he might be a big star here. And that's why I went out. I don't remember which month it was, but I went out just to observe. Then I had a little, a little match after that, or him and I were doing some teaming. And I was just thinking, like you said, there was something about him where I felt he's an untapped resource. It didn't fully work out. There was a few times where just some miscommunications, and that kind of led to us breaking apart.
But before that, you guys did this. You went ahead.
You're going deep into the vaults. Yeah.
This is a Halloween show with you and Razzle in the ring. And this was the prelude to a match between you and then the tag team champions, Collins and Bryce Donovan.
Yes.
And of course, that didn't go into your favor, so to speak. But you had a crutch there in this match. What happened?
I remember walking out with the crutch because I think that, the match, it was scheduled. We were supposed to go out there and wrestle, and I was seeing both of them, like, hey, I hurt myself on the playing field. I can't wrestle, and if a 2-on-1, that's not very fair. And then, of course, we jumped them before the bell rings, where, as you said, just trying to get some mind games. They were the tag champs then, you said? Yeah. So trying to get a leg up on them before the match starts is helpful. Catch them off guard and see what we can do.
And we started off 2019. There was a poll. And in this poll, one of the questions was, who's the rookie of the year, the breakout star, whatever it was. And there you are getting the award with
wait, who's that guy?
Bolton, who looks really excited giving this to you.
Wait, who's he looking at though? He's giving me the award, but he's not even looking at me.
I don't think he cares.
Wow, he's so bitter.
Right, so there he is, and this happened to be the beginning of an incredible year for you, because from here, this is the February show. You had just come off going into the finals of the King of New York and losing to Jay Delta.
Yes.
And then the very next month, we're awarding you this award for the for Rookie of the Year or Breakout Star, whichever it was. And the chase began for the VPW Championship. There was a time where you actually had an opportunity to win the title. So there you go. You win the title, and then Fulton comes out, and this is where I was thinking about. But he comes out and said, no, that didn't really happen. And then there you go. The belt is gone again.
So I think that was the April show, and I was going out there. It was supposed to be Tibbs and I having the match. He jumps me from behind, hits me with the belt, throws me all around the outside. Can't even get my bearings straight in the ring. Get in the ring, he does some more damage to me, barely kick out. I'm laying down, and I got to see a video of it after where he nudges the ref, shall I say, maybe pushes or shoves, and as he turned around, I hit him with the stunner, got the pin, and it was just like fireworks went off inside the ring, or even inside the whole place. Fans were going crazy. They were so incredibly loud. It was insane, and it was like this huge shock of adrenaline to me. Where even though I was just getting my butt kicked the past 5-6 minutes, whatever, hearing the 1, 2, 3 count, I was the winner. I heard your voice saying, and new champion, had the belt handed to me. It was insane. And I remember taking the belt and just sprinting around the outside of the whole venue because it was just so much pure excitement, and I couldn't even contain it. And it was such an unbelievable moment.
And then just to have that taken away, it just made it very, I guess, more of a challenge to get it back?
Yes, it was extremely bitter, but just knowing that I was able to clutch this, even for those few seconds or for a minute, made it all worth it. And just saying, okay, we're going to focus on this, and we're going to get this the real way, and we're going to hold on to this, and we're going to keep this. And like I said, there was just that drive for that whole year. And it was, I think every month there was some obstacle in front of me, either in the tag match or an 8-man match, but just always something going on.
Okay. So then here we are. It's November inside the steel cage going up against Kevin Tibbs. Finally, one last shot. This was it. He's the champ, and he'd been dominant. I want to say on and off for 12, 13 years, and he's probably one of the top stars in the company. Definitely. And if not the top star. And here he is, you and him, you're going at it, and finally, at the end of it all, inside that cage, you finally picked up the VPW Championship, and this time for real.
For real. To me, it was just amazing. It really was. It was like you said, it was the entire year building up to that. Every time I thought I was getting in a match or getting a title, something else would have happened. His whole crew was jumping me every month. They were doing all sorts of things. They were ganging up on me after the match, before a match. And like you said, being in a steel cage, which is one-on-one, no one else interfere, even though Fulton still got in the match, if you remember that. Fulton still broke in towards the end, I think. But just to know that this entire year was all building up for this one match, and it actually worked out in my favor.
And 1 month later, here we are. It's January, and they go ahead and take you out. This is the Influence, Jay Delta, Kevin Tibbs, Kevin Fulton, Kyler Khan is involved here. And the referee, of course, you see him in the background. He's got no control because you guys are just getting, I mean, they're just beating the crap out of you. And they ended up using a steel chair and working on you again to get you out. What was going through your mind?
It's unfortunate, but it was almost like, hey, they're at it again. They're all back again. They're like a pack of wild hyenas, always just teaming up on me. And as unfair as it is, still able to kind of battle back and get stronger from there.
2 months later, it's our anniversary show, and ironically enough, also the last show sanctioned by the state for VPW. And here you are. You're getting yourself all beat up and whooped by Kyler Khan in the main event, and literally, and here you are. I mean, he's strapping you up. This is him right before he actually ties you up into the ropes to go ahead and physically whip you before you go ahead and pick up the win. But there's a lot of physical violence in that match. That one was probably one of the more brutal matches I think I've seen you in VPW.
By far. I mean, as you said, he tied me to the rope, kicked me, punched me in the stomach, all over. Then he hit me multiple times with the belt. I had welts all over my back for the next week. I mean, I remember even leaving that match just feeling physically beat up. And as you said, that is by far the most brutal match I've been in at VPW. I would probably say the most brutal match I've ever been in.
2020 for most people sucked, and everyone, for different reasons, people either they lost someone or they lost jobs or it was just a bad year. COVID really did a number on everybody. And how was it for you without wrestling?
A lot of it's like you said. A lot of people lost their jobs. I lost one of mine. As you know, I do coach on the outside of wrestling, and there was no coaching going on. There was no sports, so it's definitely difficult for that. The gyms were closed, restaurants were closed, movie theaters were closed. So it's a lot of things not going on. And as you said, it is difficult. I tried to reach out to a lot of family, either phone calls or even a lot more text messaging or emails, just something to really stay in touch and to see how everyone's doing.
Now, all right. So as we continue, we're going through the end of 2020. Something big happened for you.
Yeah.
You decided to put it all on the line, and this is your sport.
Oh, I was still waiting for you to kind of, get that going. So it is funny, after that last match against Kyler Khan. So the following week, I actually proposed. So I knew from March 14th that I was going to marry someone. And what's really even better about it, we met at a VPW show.
I saw something between Alvin and I guess he was talking Alvin Alvarez, and you were talking about, who's that girl over there? And he said, hold my beer.
Yeah, so it's funny. We met at the August show, at the Rumble. It was in 2018. So at that show, that's when I was in the beginning, and it was Johnny Collins and I. We had numbers 1 and 2, and the pants kept flying off. So I had on 3 pairs of pants that night. Want to keep my legs extra warm. I went the whole distance. So So when I spoke to her after, she was like, I just didn't get what the pants were for. Like, how many pairs of pants do you have on? What are you wearing underneath? Are you in spandex? Are you in tights? Are you in like long shorts? Just what are you wearing? But she had her eye on me the entire night. Just like, okay, the pants are off. He's kind of cute. I dig the mustache. Okay, all right. So, I mean, it definitely worked. Yeah. So as the first impression for her to see that, and by August, so I started that February. So by about 6 months later, the fans were starting to be on my side more. And instead of the boos, a lot of the boos were turning into cheers, and they were kind of going along with the things that I was doing. So for her to see that on the first night, where it was a super loud crowd in my favor, I mean, it is pretty cool. It's like, oh, who's this guy? Well, the fans seem to love him. That's pretty cool. Okay.
And 2 weeks ago to today, 2 weeks ago from today, you and her finally tied the knot.
We did. Okay. We got married in our home, and then went to a restaurant with just a small group of people and had a little celebratory dinner.
Okay. And this was, I thought, pretty cool.
Yeah.
There with her. And
yeah,
she has her own jacket.
She does. She has her Mrs. Mammone jacket.
Okay, and there you go with the belt. And there's one more that I think is going to piss off Kevin when he sees it. There's this one here. He's won the championship.
Yep. Hey, she says what's mine is hers, so we share everything now, right?
I'm pretty sure that the sanctioning committee will not agree to that, but yeah. So there was that. There's the rise to the championship. Once we get back in front of fans, what's the first thing you want to do? What's the first challenge that you want to try to accomplish?
That's a great question. As of now, like you said, because we've been almost a year without wrestling at VPW, I really think I'll take on any challenger. I won't be picky. Whoever's willing to wrestle, I'm down for it. But I think for me, just to be able to defend this title and walk out still as a champion will be a successful night.
Okay. Now, if there's any one person that you can face in VPW for the championship, defending the title, who do you think would step up to the plate and give you the night of nights?
Someone that's been on my list of people to wrestle is VSK. But like I said, I just feel he is so incredibly smooth in the ring. I just think he brings matches to a whole nother level, and he just makes things look so incredibly easy too. So I think to be in the ring with him, hopefully successfully defend my title would be huge also. But I think he would be an amazing competitor and a great challenge for me as well.
Very cool. All right. What about you had mentioned that you had faced Johnny, you had teamed up with Johnny Collins before you joined VPW. How do you feel of him as a competitor?
Or as a little guy, I think, and not to say like this, I think he's overlooked a lot. Where he has, and I don't mean that as a pun, he has a whole lot of fight in him. He is very mouthy. He speaks a whole lot, but he backs it up at the same time. Where I think a lot of people don't really respect him enough or think he can do much, and then he gets the ring and he gets the job done. Where sometimes, yeah, he's very sneaky and he cheats and does whatever, but he knows his stuff. He could hold his own self in the ring. He's doing amazing things in the ring. So he's definitely very impressive. Someone that I do keep on my radar as well. I don't take him for granted just because he's so-called a smaller person. Okay. So he's definitely on there, though. He's on the radar.
Okay. All right. Well, Coach Mammone, thank you for joining us here. The current reigning and defending Victory Pro Wrestling champion. And there's the belt. There is the champion.
Thank you, Radio VPW fans. We'll see you at the next live show.
That's much better than I would have ended it.
I got you, Radio.
And there you have it. Victory Pro Wrestling champion, Coach Mammone. What'd you think about that, Kevin? Kevin! How long will you sleep? You all right?
Yeah, I'm sorry, man. Mammone started talking, and God, he just puts me right to sleep. He's like freaking human NyQuil. It's just God. I can't believe somebody married him. Oh. All right.
You good?
Yeah. What are we up to here?
All right. Right now it's time
Sure.
for our...
Yeah, thanks.
It's time for our main event. This is the Victory Pro Wrestling Championship, and you guys voted 69% of the vote.
Is that a real number?
That's a real number.
69% of the vote?
That's how many people voted for the Victory Pro Wrestling Championship match that we're about to watch.
Okay.
69% of the fans.
Yeah. What did the other 31% vote for?
The other two matches.
So which one won?
Mr. Tibbs, Victory Pro Wrestling Champion, inside a steel cage against Coach Mammone.
Are you kidding me?
Ladies and gentlemen, this is our main event of the evening. Introducing Bryson Challenger. Making his way from the red circle. He is the 2019 Gold Rush Rumble Champion. The challenger, Coach Mammone! And his opponent.
Yeah, baby!
To a finish. And by order of the ownership of Victory Pro Wrestling Incorporated, Jay Delta, Puppet Jay Delta, Tyler Khan, and Eric James are burned inside. love and dance. Much love and dance. There you go. Rip it off! Rip it off! Give up, coach! You're a winner! It's okay! Kick out! Oh, thank you. Come on, Tibbs. Tibbs, stop toying with this loser. Put him away. Put him away. Yes, Tibbs. You got him now, brother. You got him now. Give me a chair. Give me a chair. Give me a chair.
And there you have it. Steel cage.
No.
Championship
Stop.
victory
Stop.
for Coach
Stop.
Mammone.
Stop.
What?
That man should not be the VPW champion. You
Why?
want me to tell you why?
He pinned him.
Do you
fair
want to
straight in the
know
ring.
why that was bullshit?
Why?
Okay? I cheated.
You
There.
cheated. Okay.
I said it. I cheated. I went inside of the steel cage
Okay.
where I should not have been,
Okay.
and I hit the challenger in the back with the steel folding chair.
Okay. Did the referee see it?
He did not,
Okay.
but I cheated. Okay?
Okay.
And then you want to talk about things that the referee. Well, first of all, before we even get there, okay? I'm fired the F up, okay? He put his hands, he being Coach Mammone, right?
Okay.
He gave me a stunner.
Okay. Were you supposed to be in the ring?
No.
All right. So
Back to square one. But
if you-
anyway,
if you were in the
shut
ring,
your mouth. Not only am I a VPW official, I am the highest ranking VPW official.
Okay.
Okay.
If you weren't
he
in the
should have
ring,
been suspended.
if you weren't in the ring, would it hit you?
Well, no.
Okay.
But that's why he didn't get suspended. But the victory should have been held up. Not to mention, did you see the referee there?
Yes.
Okay? When he was counting the final 1, 2, 3, where was he looking? Better yet, what wasn't he looking at? He wasn't looking at Kevin Tibbs' shoulders. He wasn't looking at Kevin Tibbs' feet. How do you count a 3 on the shoulders that you're not even looking at? Plus, Tibbs' foot was on the ropes.
Was it though? No, you think?
It might have. It may have been.
It wasn't.
And not to mention that referee to begin with, okay, was the one who fast counted Kevin Tibbs when that idiot Mammone thought he won the title the first time.
And why did he do that?
Right, because he's a loser.
No, it's because he was attacked.
And that doesn't matter, okay? He unprofessionally performed his job, okay? And he was suspended then. When was the last time you saw that referee? I'll tell you, it was in that cage match with his stupid blue gloves on, counting to 3 without looking at what he was counting. You want to know why? Because I fired him because he unprofessionally did his job.
So you took it out on him. Is that what you're saying? Because you couldn't find a way to cheat.
We found a way.
But it didn't work.
Because the referee was incompetent. Okay? That victory, this entire title reign of Coach Mammone should not hold up.
That's not going to happen. That's not going to work that way. He won, he pinned him, and that was it.
Fugazi at best.
All right. Well, wrestling fans, we had a blast tonight, and we're going to do it again 4 weeks from today, Saturday night, March 27th, with another Victory Pro Wrestling virtual event when we present the best of Victory Pro Wrestling's anniversary show. What a great night it's going to be.
And we're going to do it a little differently, I think, next month.
How are we going to do this?
Well, with me being around VPW for, what anniversary is it? 15?
Right.
It would be 15?
Yeah.
All right. I've been around for 13 of the 15.
Okay.
You've been there for 10?
I've been about 10 years.
I've seen the best matches live.
Agreed. Okay.
On every one of the anniversary shows.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I've got enough credentials between me and a little bit of you to pick all the matches for our best of the anniversary show.
Okay.
I think I feel safe right now, confident enough, by saying we're going to headline that show with the replay of the Church of Tibbs versus VSK
All right.
and AJ Styles
yes.
from the VPW 8-year anniversary show.
That's an incredible match.
Right? And I feel safe in saying that
former TNA Impact World Champion.
Yeah.
Then future, not at the time. Is that Rusty?
No, it's what was the butt called?
Future WWE champion.
Yeah.
And AJ Styles is going to carry it up. If you have not seen this match, this is going to be a match you want to see. Plus, some of the other matches that are going to be on that show are going to be absolutely
phenomenal. That was a layup, folks.
Pretty much.
Yep.
Saturday night, March 27th. Make sure you're here when Victory Pro Wrestling presents the best of the anniversary shows. Before we go, please do me a favor. Go to our...
I got something from the phone. Here, Coach.
Get your merchandise at the VPW shop at victoryprowrestling.com. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. For Kevin Fulton, I'm Johnny Radio. Have a good night.
Oh, fuck, Collins.
Mr. Collins, we really have to apologize. We're so sorry about this interview and the whole production.
What do you mean you're
forgive
sorry?
us?
What do you mean you're sorry?
Well, we just know this isn't up to your level of standard. We understand that you expect more.
So it's not happening again, is what you're telling me? That's what you're telling me? You can be honest with me. I'm not going to be upset. Seriously, you can tell me.
Listen, it's just not going to work this time. Okay, it's just not going to work this time.
This
okay?
time,
yeah,
right. Again with this fucking bullshit. Again with this fucking. I'm done with this shit. I'm done with this shit. I'm a professional. Do you know who I am? Get me out of here. Call my limo driver.